right, welcome to the show, everybody. So glad to have everyone here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have everyone here with us today. I want to thank you for joining with us. Thank you for spending time with us. We are available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If you want to check us out, our website is currently under development, but we are on social media. We are building our social media, so there's not a whole lot there yet, but we are getting there. So if you want to catch us at Instagram, it's at Yuza Bigman. If you want to catch us on Twitter, it's at BigmanYuza. We're on Facebook at Yuza.Bigman.9. If you want to support us on Patreon to help us continue what we're doing, it would certainly be appreciated. Thank you for all that you do. If you want to catch us there, we're on Patreon at Yuza Bigman. You want to catch some merch, you can go to our merch store. It's merch.streamelements.com/usabigman. Get you a t-shirt, get you a hoodie, get you a coffee cup. We're glad to help you with that. Thank you so much for all that you joined with us for today. We're going to have some great discussion. We're going to talk about some things. There's going to be a lot of good. We started off, I want to go back. When we first started talking about this series about helping us to be better us's, as I say. The issue that we always have faced is what are we looking for? What are we looking for? What's the one thing we want more than anything else? The issue that is better results. That's what we really, really want. We want better results than what we've been getting. Now, for that to be possible, we have to understand that we are living in a world where results are becoming more and more of an issue because we're trying to please other people and get their results that they want. But I want to talk about the results that we want for us. What do we want? Now, to understand this, I want to bring up a graphic and I want you to see this. This graphic is very important. It talks about the state of mind, and this is where we're going to go. This is where we're going to focus on for the majority of these episodes. So I want you to understand this. If you want to catch us on YouTube, please do go to YouTube. Look us up at Yuza Bigman. We are on YouTube and streaming live currently right now. But whatever goes in, whatever comes into you, good, bad, this graphic symbolizes that by showing us the good on top, the bad on the bottom. But whatever it is that focuses itself into you, it causes your current state of mind, which affects your thoughts and decisions, which affects your actions, which give you results, which feed back into you. Now, the action point is also the change point. If you want better results, you have to give better actions. Your state of mind and your thoughts and decisions, at some point, you have to break where you're headed if you're not headed in the right direction with your actions. This applies both ways. If you mess up, you may have the best, you may in your state of mind be positive. You may be having thoughts and decisions that are positive, but your actions may break that cycle and give you bad results, which feeds back into you. This is a state that people who suffer with addiction fight through. People understand this. If you want better results, the same thing applies. So as we're talking about this, I want to go back. In our first episode, we talked about what is wisdom. Wisdom is it's actually a deep understanding or knowledge of a subject. It is the ability to think and act, to use knowledge, to use experience, to use common sense and insight. So if we're going to apply wisdom to become a better us, we have to ask ourselves, are we going to see changes in our lives? Are we going to see better, different results? And are we getting what we want out of life? If we not, then we have to change the way we think. We have to change the way we think. Change comes about, it's conscious. It is a conscious decision. It is your state of mind. You have to think about this. You have to walk through this. So whatever results you're getting, they don't just happen. It is causation. The principle of causation is cause and effect. What causes the results? The results are the end game. So we're going to look very closely at this. We talked about in our previous episodes about where we wanted to be in life. Did we have what we wanted to have? Did we get the house we wanted with the 2.5 kids, the picket fence, and the car that we wanted? In actuality, we wanted to be successful. We wanted to be rich. We wanted to be, but in all actuality, those things did not come. And so our state of mind got affected in a negative way, which caused our thoughts and actions. Our thoughts and decisions were affected, which affected our actions, which gives us the results we did not want. Now, many times this happens in our personal life as well. This is not get rich quick. This is not a tier thing. This is not something that I'm trying to create a multi-level marketing thing. I just want you to understand this, that we, as human beings, we need breakthroughs in our life. And I'm talking to the person who has been told that you're worthless, that you're not worthy of anything. I'm talking to the person who has been told that you are nothing. I'm talking to the person who has been told you're less than. And I'm telling you now, you matter. You're worthy. You're valuable. You are. And so it's that headspace that I want to get you into. It's that headspace that we all need to be into. So today we're going to talk about this. What goes in must come out. And the truth is that sometimes the thing that goes in, it affects us in such a negative way. It comes out negatively. We fall in love with the wrong person. We find ourselves in an abusive relationship, being told we're worthless. We're being told we're sorry. We're not deserving. We're not loved. We're not wanted. I'm telling you, those decisions lead to those paths. No, I'm not at all throwing this back on victims. I'm telling you, our decisions lead to where we are. The only way out of that is to make better decisions. Now, how does this really affect us? Because I want to talk about breakthrough today. I want to talk about true change. I don't want to talk about something that's just an idea. I asked in one of the previous episodes, we talked about, if you have something, are you willing to be able to give part of that up? Why is that necessary? Why is it necessary to give part of that up? First of all, you got to understand something. If there's something you're happy with, you have to be willing to reserve part of that back, or be willing to give part of that up. Why is that? It is simply because of the principle of planting and harvest. If you're going to plant corn, don't expect tomatoes to grow. And if you do plant corn and you get corn, you can't eat all the corn that you grew. You got to pull some back and set it aside for future growth, an investment in next year. You have to learn to invest in yourself. This is a must. This is a must. You have to learn to invest in yourself. The areas that we have problems with are areas of discipline, areas of letting go, areas of losing control. Because if we've been in these situations where we are either an addict, or we're going through something where our home life is abusive, or relationships are bad, our work life is stressful, we're having anxiety. I am not here to talk about major mental illness. I'm talking about normal stress and anxiety that we all go through. And this is a major issue right now, especially with this pandemic that the world is facing. And some people are ignoring it. Some people are going through with it. Some people are suffering through it. Some people are dealing with it. There's a lot of anxiety and a lot of issues coming out of this. So I want to talk about breakthrough to get us through this anxiety that we're feeling. What is a breakthrough? It is working your way to get from where you are to where you want to be. So in order for that to happen, you have to first establish where you want to be. You can establish where you are. You got to establish where you want to be. Come on, somebody. Agree with me on this. So the question is, If you know you've got something you're happy with, are you willing to set part of that aside as a reinvestment in yourself? And if you're not happy with something in your life, ask yourself, why are you not happy with it? Now, if you do this, I want you to be honest with yourself, because you can't lie to yourself. I know people that have, and I know people who have lied to themselves so much so that they've convinced themselves of the lie. Here's the truth. We have problems with discipline. We have problems with letting go. Problems with losing control of things that we are barely scratching to get control of. And if you don't believe that's true, go on a diet. It's difficult. Now, there are things that we're going to, and I'm not trying to make this lighthearted by saying diet. I just want you to understand that it is very difficult when you get in that headspace to get yourself out of it. You may not always voice these things out loud, but you cannot hide from yourself. It doesn't matter how far you run, when you sit down at night, you still got to deal with yourself. So dealing with yourself, you can't hide from yourself. So the only thing you can really do is fix it. Now, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about fixing it, because fixing it is where breakthrough comes in. In order to fix it, you have to change your state of mind. Bring that graphic back. I want us to talk about that graphic for a second. You change your state of mind. And the only way to change the state of mind is to change the results that you're getting. And remember that change point is in the actions. Now, I want to share this with you. Remember, change is an action. I'm a person who has dealt with addiction in my life. I fought it. It's a monster. And I beat it. And so can you. But I had to get myself to the headspace, not to where I know that I'm an addict and I know that there's a possibility I could return to it. But I had to get myself to the space in my brain where it's not even an option that pops up anymore. Does that mean it won't always be? No, it probably. Addiction is a monster that always likes to come back. But maintaining that proper headspace is so important, trying to get myself to a better place. Because if I'm going to change my state, I've got to learn that I can't always voice what comes into here. I got to have a filter between here and here. And I can't always let what goes into my state of mind and gives my thoughts and decisions and affects my actions, and what comes out of my mouth gets me a bad result. And I said this before, we need to act. In the first episode, I said this: learn to respond and not react. In other words, take a breath, take a step back, give yourself a second to let your brain catch up with your mouth, so that wisdom prevails, and what comes out is wisdom and not words that you can't take back. So we may not always voice these things out loud, but we cannot lie to ourselves. So we have to change our state of mind. We have to fix what's wrong. Remember, what comes in breeds what causes our state of mind. It allows that to breed and to multiply in our state of mind. That breeds and allows to multiply the thoughts and decisions that we make, which gives birth to the actions that we take, which gets us the results that we may or may not want. And it's a circle because it feeds back into us. So if you live in negativity, the thoughts and decisions that you have, they're going to be negative. I need you to understand that they are going to be negative. If your results, if you live in negativity, they're going to be anxiety, they're going to be fear, they're going to be adversity, which will feed right back into your state of mind. Now, what happens if you live in a positive state of frame of being? You say, I don't even want somebody around me that's going to speak on those things. Well, your thoughts and decisions are going to improve. They're going to improve. Your actions are going to improve. Your results are going to improve. And that's going to feed right back into your state of mind and improve your state of mind. Again, let me say this. If you're planning corn, don't expect tomatoes. The action point is where change has to happen. So if you're going to feed back into there, remember future investment in yourself. Remember that it is so important what feeds back into your state of mind. If there's negativity, remove it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Did you know that foolishness breeds foolishness and wisdom breeds wisdom? So if you want to be wise, find somebody who's wise. Find somebody, they may not be rich, they may not be wealthy, they may not be business-wise successful, but they may have the home life that you want. If that's what you want, hang out with those people. Find out what they're doing that is right. You don't need to mirror their actions, but you might learn some lessons that would help you along the way. So the question is, who struggles with their state of mind? And I'm going to be the first to put my hand up. I do. So I want us to talk about this because the mental is so important. Again, I'm not addressing serious mental health issues. I'm not a mental health expert. I'm just somebody who got tired of negativity. And I found out some things that helped me, and I want to help you with that. Physiology is the study of the human body. Psychology is the study of the human mind. There's a field of study called physiopsychology, physiological psychology. It is how the body affects the mind. In other words, the mind has an effect on the body. A depressed person, if their state of mind is in a depression state, their head's going to be hung down, their shoulders are going to be slumped, and they're probably going to be looking at the floor. They're not really paying attention to what's going on around them because they're locked into that depressed state. A person who's happy, they're likely going to be more relaxed. Their head is going to be up, their shoulders are going to be back, they're going to be smiling, they're going to be more upbeat. Because their mind has the effect on the body. Now, I want to say this. There are Harvard studies that have been released that show that just as the mind has an effect on the body, that the physiology of the human body has an effect on the mind as well. So I want to turn this around and we're going to reverse this today. We're going to reverse this. We're going to have a good time with this. I promise you this works. I promise you this works. Every time I've taught this, it has always worked, especially in a group setting. It has always worked. So try this as if you're in a room full of people. Just do this. Trust me. Let's go with this. Now, let me illustrate what I'm about to say by this. How we believe in our mind affects our body. My father related a story where many years ago they were working and there was a guy that was on their crew that had never missed a day because of sick. He was never out, one day sick. And so they decided to play a joke on him. And one by one, they came up to him during the day one day, just as soon as he came to work, just one at a time. Not even where other people could hear, but one by one they said to him, "Hey, are you okay? Do you feel all right? Because your color looks off. Man, are you okay? You kind of look like you might be sick. Are you all right? There's something wrong with the way you look." Before the day was over, the guy went home sick. Because in his brain, he was convinced. So his body responded. So let's take that same principle. We're going to push that out. Okay. Harvard released a study that has proven that the form of the body does not just refer to the display of confidence over others. It's associated with real changes in the levels of hormones in your body. This is so important that we understand this. This is so very important for us to understand. That hormones are such a key figure. So that slump posture is not. Let me do this. Here's what we want to practice. This is what I've taught. This is what we practice. I want you, if you're sitting down, I want you to sit up straight, because a non-slump posture, straighten your spine. A non-slumped posture can reduce the stress hormone cortisol, and it can increase the testosterone that is in your system within just a few seconds in the brain. And so just sit, if you're sitting at a desk and you're tired and your back is hurting and you're ready for the day to be over, just sit up straight, shoulders back, and head up, not looking up, but just head straight forward with a smile on your face. few deep breaths, the cortisol will start to go down, the testosterone will start to come up, and endorphins will be released in your body that will make you feel better. And it improves your overall feeling of well-being in the immediate time, just within seconds. If you're sitting like that because you're sad, you also may be sitting like that. You may be sad because you're sitting like that. Change your posture. How many of you have ever taken a good stretch? I'm talking about that good old 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, yawn and stretch, and you're trying to bring yourself back to life because you've just gone into a fog in your brain. And if you've ever stood up and just stretched so hard that you went up on your toes and felt like a short, maybe a high just kind of went through, a natural high went through your body. That's what I'm talking about. You change your posture. You change the level of cortisol. You change the level of testosterone immediately. And you let endorphins flood your system and give you an overall improved sense of well-being, and you woke up. There are things that we can do to do this physically. So it feels good to stretch. It gets those hormones flowing. So on the physical side, we can control, again, our immediate state of being. We can control with our physiology, with our body. Change our mental focus. So I want to give you a couple of things. First of all, do we need to talk about this other than in a clinical setting? Absolutely. People, we need to talk about this at home. We need to talk about this at work. We need to talk about this at church. I think we need to address this everywhere because people need to understand the depth of what I'm talking about. Everything we do is as a result of our being and our moving and our taking part in something and our going and how we do things and how we react to things. And so the body is continually trying to maintain a chemical balance and a unique state of equilibrium. And so that process is offset by two competing peripheral nervous systems, the parasympathetic nervous system, which is like a brake pedal, and then you got the sympathetic nervous system, which is like a gas pedal, and one's trying to, leave skid marks on the road as you're going as hard as you can. The other one's trying to get you to a dead stop. And so they control the heart rate in conjunction with the lungs, and they're trying to maintain an equilibrium in a cycle. I'm talking about physiological psychology. So when that happens, your parasympathetic nervous system and your sympathetic nervous system are all trying to work together. And anxiety and stress, it throws the body off balance. And we've got to learn to control that with breathing and posture. It's exactly that simple. It's exactly that simple. Again, if you're dealing with major mental health issues, I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about if you're in a slump and you need to break out of it. Adjust how your body is. Control your posture. Control your breathing. There are two things I want to give you to try this week. I always like to leave you with something. And so there are two things I want you to try this week. They both involve either standing up or sitting up. The first one you can sit up. But if you would stand up, put your feet at least shoulder width apart. Just a good firm stand. Back straight, shoulders back. I want you to take your arms out to the side, and I want you to bring them together in a clap. Now I want you to take them back as far as you can. Take them back as far as you can. All the way back. Make eagle's wings if you can. Eagle's wings. Think eagle's wings. I want you to breathe in deep, and I want you to smile. It's a beautiful smile. Come on, give us a big, big, beautiful grin. Just, you can look if you want to. It's fine, but don't look up. Just look straight ahead. Deep breath in. Bring your arms in as you can breathe out. Come on. Smile. You got to remember to smile. And I'm watching you. If you're not smiling, it's not going to work. Just remember that. If you're not smiling, it's not going to work. Smile. Arms back. Deep breath in. Out, arms forward. Smile the whole time. Smile, smile, smile. That feels good. It feels good. It's hard to be in an anxiety state when you're smiling and you're feeling good and you're doing those things because you're flooding your body with those positive endorphins and that rise of testosterone and that lowering of cortisol right there. Right there. So let me give you one more. It's called a Superman stance. You say this sounds crazy? Well, blame Harvard because it was their study. Hands in the fist, like you're going to box, but we're not boxing anybody. We're going to put them on our hips, arms, our hips, elbows out, shoulders back, back straight, head forward, big smile, feet shoulder width apart, standing up. This is a power stance. Stand this way 2 minutes and breathe in and out, deliberately, slowly. Come on. You will find not only is your body relaxed, but you feel better. The power stance. If you're in business and you want to assume control of the room, don't do this so obvious that everybody thinks that you look like an idiot, but just put yourself into a power stance. This tells everybody you're open, you're ready for communication, and you have a handle on the subject. It addresses these things subconsciously. It also affects your state of mind. It really does. It's the same reason why you can't be depressed when you're smiling and happy. When you're laughing, you can't be depressed. You can't be happy and sad at the same time. Remember, what goes in must come out, okay? What goes in must come out. We got 2 minutes left. We're trying to hurry. What goes in must come out. If you're going into a fight with Floyd Money Mayweather, like him or not, he's a champion. You're not going to show up in that boxing ring and just, until that time say, oh, if it happens, it happens. We'll see what happens when we get there. You have to prepare your body conditionally for a fight if you're going to step in the ring with a champ. You have to learn how to move your feet, learn how to shadow box, learn how to use a speed bag, learn how to use a heavy bag, learn how to wrap your hands. You have to learn how to throw a punch. You have to learn how to take a punch. And you have to do all of these things over and over until you get into your state of mind where it's automatic for you to do these things before you step into the ring with somebody of his caliber, if you're even going to stand a chance of winning. It is a mind frame that you get into because of the physicality that you've expressed to get yourself there. What goes in must come out. So here's the challenge of the week. Here's the challenge. Find your state of mind that you're in every day. When you start to have that low point, ask yourself, what state of mind am I in? Figure out, where am I at? Where do I need to be? Where do I want to be? And figure out what actions you can take to improve that state. Next week, our next episode, we're going to talk about stinking thinking. It's something that will transform your life. I hope this is helping you. Transformative thinking is awesome. It is incredible. This is not some multi-level thing. I'm telling you, if you'll just listen to this series, it's going to help you personally. Not asking anything in return. You don't have to buy anything. This is totally up to you. But you can catch us on Podbean. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts. You can catch us on Spotify. If you want to catch us on social media, our media, go to our YouTube. Our social media is on the screen. If you want to contribute to us on Patreon, we certainly appreciate it. It would help us continue what we're doing here, trying to do a good work to help everybody. Patreon at Yuza Bigman, and everything that is done there, we certainly do appreciate. Thank you in advance. If you want to pick up some merch, we do have T-shirts, we have hoodies, and we also have coffee mugs with 3 different designs. Go to merch.streamelements.com/UseABigman. My dogs are telling me it's time to go. Folks, thank you so much for being here with us. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Make sure you have an awesome day every day. Thank you for watching.